Hi everyone, it's Diane from Art of Craft. I discovered the other day that I had run out of my selection of tickets, and I just love tickets. I make them out of Tim Holtz strip die called Ticket Strip, I'm pretty sure. And I just absolutely love this. I stamp them. I seem to make them differently than most people, but I use them on all my projects. I'll show you a few projects, and at the end of the video there'll be a lot more from some of the ones that I'm going to be making today. I put them on my tags. You can see here I've got a ticket on the edge. I've just used a little one of his clasps, Tim Holtz clasps on the edge there. I forget what it's called. And it's got a message on the back as his stamps that come in the odds and ends stamp set that goes really well with the ticket strip die. I have all sorts of sayings and ones you can personalise, and Halloween, Christmas, etc. on there that you can use just as they are. I love to colour them up and add them to things. So you can see this one, this is another one. I've just coloured it and put one of his sayings on the back of it to send my message. This is another one of his, and I've actually put a couple on here where I've used it to put a message on, but I've also used it on the end of the tag. This is something I do quite often because I like to put my happy birthday and my personal messages on this little tag when I send them, or if for journaling, if I'm using it in one of my mini books, mini albums. And this is a Christmas one. That's fun. This is another Christmas one, just done a different way. Just lots of fun, and you can use them in so many different ways. You can make them into coupon books. This is one that I've got on a card front, and I've used all sorts of products on there. Glossy accents. I've got some Distress embossing powder on there, and they're just so much fun. The sort of stamps I use, if you're not very good at making a picture with your stamps, these particular stamps are really good. The Ornate Collages, Stampers Anonymous, again Tim Holtz, and the Eclectic Palette. They're really good because you can take pieces out of them and just have them on your stamp, and you've created, it's all textured up, like these ones. They're all ready just to paint, and like this one, which is off this particular stamp, and they've got all the bits of texture in the background, and it's just really easy to colour them up. In fact, you don't even have to do much. You can just bring your ink blending tool over the top with your Distress inks on, and you've created a lovely ticket. These have all got different things on the backs of them. This is from another one of his sets. You just put on whatever is particular to you. You can see on the backs of all these, there are all sorts, well, that one's not done yet, all sorts of different messages, so that you can use them in the appropriate place for you. So these ones are really good to do it if you don't like to do all the background work. And this is his odds and ends set, and you can see here you've got Valentine's, Halloween, Merry Christmas. You've got a really cool calendar where you can circle it for the special day. You've got the who, what, where. You've got limited edition created by, which is fabulous for putting on the backs of cards. And you've got one here that's empty, and a whole lot of different sayings down here that you can put in there, or put in what you want to put. Sometimes I actually stamp with journaling, or emboss with journaling, so that I can write on it, or just freehand. And other stamps that are fabulous to do are all used with the set, all the Crafty Secret sets, because I have all the little stamps, and you'll see them on the different ones that I've stamped down here. Fun to colour, very detailed. Have all the little dragonflies and flowers and little birds that fly, so that you can put them in behind your scene if you like to make your stamps, your tickets, sorry, like here, and put images in to make them come alive. So there's those. Now these are some of the tickets You can see here where I've stamped different images, and I've started to colour and haven't finished yet. They're all just ready to paint. Now you don't have to go to you don't have to be really elaborate with all these. A lot of people get afraid because I think, oh, I've got to worry about the images. You don't. Tickets are fun. Just slap that paint on. I will often paint the image. You will see me do it, and then I'll get some glossy accents and put it on, like these birds, for instance. If I glossy accent those birds, then when I come over the top with my ink blending tool or texture stamps to stamp over that, of course it won't affect any of the colours of the birds, and you can just have so much fun. Have fun. You can make them really pretty. This is a really cool way of using up all those bits that you get from your Prima pearls. Don't throw them away, and you can put them with a ribbon. You can put eyelets through them. These are quite feminine ones. I'll show you a close-up of those later. These are the more masculine ones where I've actually put metal on the back of them, and this one hasn't been sanded, this one has. And what I've done there is I use a lot of 10-second studio metal, and I have scraps from it, so I just emboss it up and put it on the backs of these and make them put the the different embellishments on it. These are all Tim Holtz ones, all different names that I can never remember when I'm videoing. So just remember, you can use anything. Use all your little bits and pieces. Maybe we can start a ticket craze, and maybe we can do some swaps with tickets, because you can use these in so many different situations. Like I said, look at the spaces here for journaling, for putting happy birthday on, for putting on to presents in your books. Just do it. I know you'll love it. Okay, let's go, and I'll show you how to paint these. Okay, you can make yourself up a palette by stamping on your non-stick crafts sheet and just choosing your colours from the range that you've got, which these are all of Tim Holtz Distressings. I've cut up one of my mats so I can make a palette out of it, but you can just as easily use your inkers and put it on a bit of plastic. You can again make a bigger one so you can see your colours. It's great because you can actually see through it and see what the colours are when you're working off your pads. As with dye inks, it's hard to tell what colour they are until you look at them, because dye inks all appear dark. Again, using my koi brushes, one of them filled with the Dove blending solution. All I've done for a start is this one. I've coloured the ends, so I know it's just got the blending solution in it. It's just something I prefer to do. I've gone over these images, and then I have started to colour with my dry brush, so I can slowly work the colour up. See where I've started to colour using spun sugar. Or just start colouring. You don't have to be particularly careful. As you can see with this one, if you look closely, you can see that I've actually gone over just splashed my colour around and gone over out of the feathers. It doesn't matter, because once you bring the sky in and bring in a few colour in behind there, you'll never be able to tell. As you're doing this, I do use glossy accents over the top of these when I'm wanting to enhance the colours and bring them out. But you can also use Claudine Hellmuth Studio Multimedium, either matte or gloss, to do the same thing very quickly. If you're an instant action girl or boy, you might want to use that. So I've used a matte over this to enhance the colours, so that now when I stamp and then over the top and do the backgrounds, the original painting won't be affected. This one's actually got glossy accents on it. It'll take a little bit longer to dry, and I'll take you through how to colour those up a bit later. The next thing I wanted to tell you is that these have all been stamped with the black archival ink, because I'm using water-based paints over the top. They've been stamped on manila cardstock, because I love the manila cardstock. I like the way it takes the wet mediums, and I just like the way that the colours brought up on the project. Another little thing that you probably would like to know is that with your ticket strip die, you can actually use it through your cuddle bug and through the scissors without the extender plates. There's a trick to it. If you imagine that this is your ticket strip die, you would put it onto your platform, and you would tape your card to your actual die at the point that the platform ends. You then put it through your machine, bring it out the other side, and put it through this way again. Don't turn it around and put it through that way, because you'll get a little hooky-do in the middle, because the paper will stretch this way and then you'll try and stretch it that way, and it'll never be correct. If you get line on your ticket strip or any of these long dies, just make sure that the end of your die ends on one of these perforated edges, and it's just fine. I used to cut so many of these that way until I got my very large scissors machine, and it can be done, and unless you're cutting hundreds you won't have a problem with it. Okay, the next thing is doing the faces on the flesh tones on the skin. There's several things you can do. You can use the ones I like to use. I actually use spun sugar and tattered rose. They blend together nicely. But there are a couple in the Adirondack range as well that are good. It's the sandal and the shell pink. But you just choose the colours you like, just light colours. When you're doing the skin tones, that's when I would put water or blending solution into my pen, because then I can take it really light and shade it darker. She was a little bit pink for my liking, so I've just taken away a little of that pinkness using this Dove blending solution. see I'm not being very tidy with this. This is just to give it some texture, and again to make sure that when I stamp over this and bring my Distress inks in over the top to make a background, that it doesn't interfere with the water-based ink that I have slapped on there. I don't mind if there's little globs of this because it just gives it dimension. In fact, sometimes it's fun to use the golden bead gel in the backgrounds. It's hard to actually pick it up on camera, but on this one, for instance, you can see it in the back there, perhaps, but it gives them a nice feel, and you certainly can see it in real life. Home stretch now. You can see where I have coloured quite a few of these. I have glossy accented some of them. I've used gloss multi-medium on some. I've used matte multi-medium on some. And this one that you saw me painting, I have blinged it up a little bit, coloured it a bit. Even this one at the end here that I completely, there's a couple of them I completely mucked up when I was painting, went too far over the edge, but it doesn't make any difference when you get it together and you bring those colours in over the top. It kind of blends it all out. And I could texture more in there, but I decided to use a little bit of bling. I did the back also, and on here I used up scraps of my lace and just put it on the side and had my little saying there. When I actually take these off and put them on something, I will obviously tear them off, and I will probably go around the edges of them to give them a nice little frame. Decide whether I'm going to put one of the memo pins on like this, or a chain or a ribbon. But at the moment all I'm going to do is quickly go through and I'm going to do these backgrounds to show you how easy it is, how quick it is. And I'm going to be using the both the Distress inks and the Adirondack inks, because both of them blend beautifully. Now, because I've used that accent over, you'll see not a lot, it's not really going on to the skin, changing the colour, it's just changing the colour of the background. And when you're finished, you can grab a baby wipe and just take it off those areas if you think it's colouring up too much. wanted to have a quick recap. There's just so many styles you can do with these tickets. You don't have to use this particular style. You can use them for your cards, your mini albums, your layouts. You can decorate them with lace, memo pins, bling, ribbon. Use your swivel clasps from Tim Holtz. These are my favourite, the memo pins, because I can stick them into different layouts and pages. But one of the things that's really great about these is they'd make a fabulous swap, because they're easy to post anywhere in the world, and I think that then people can use them. They're very usable in all their projects. You can see the details on the different ones. The only difference in this one is I've actually added a little bit of glass bead gel for a small amount of texture on there. Bling them up, and put your laces on the back and your sayings on the back, things that you'd like to add to. I've made up a little one here, actually a couple of these for the Once Upon a Springtime album that I'm doing, with little characters that are taken out of the different papers. They're fun. The different styles, these are what I call my more arty-farty ones. I quite like this style. It's fun, and I've just added the memo pins and paper clips, different shaped paper clips. That's lots of fun. And of course, don't forget the guys. The guys have got to have theirs. These are very much like dog tags, and they're fun. Don't forget to make up your coupon books. You can make up little coupon books like this. Of course, you can promise anything in them. You can just slip rows of the tickets in with, you know, a promise to whatever. And that's fun to give as a gift. Thank you very much for watching.